On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Good afternoon, YouTube. Happy holidays. This video has been in the making or been in the works for quite some time. I didn't have it quite right, or I didn't feel like I had it quite right, so it's been delayed for some time. I apologize for that, but let's get into it. Keeping in theme with the 12 days of Christmas, I've got 12 different items that I think your loved one or you yourself are going to love for this Christmas holiday, or we'll say Christmas. If I offend anyone, I apologize up front. I'm going to continue to reference as Christmas just because that's what I grew up with. All right, so let's go ahead and get this list started. I know you can see this. We're going to keep this to the side for a little bit. So the first knife on the list, and we're going descending by the highest price, is the MX3 Gyuto. Okay, comes in a beautiful box like this. Mine is the 270 millimeter or the 10.6 inch. I recommend for most of you who have tighter spaces to get the 210 millimeter or 8 inch Gyuto. It's just a little bit longer than 8 inch. 200 millimeters is 8 inch. The thing I love about this knife, firstly, the rounded spine. You cannot beat the rounded spine. It's very comfortable to use, pinch grip or as slicing. The Deba handle with the 3 rivets and the contour feels perfect in your hand. Very reminiscent of other knives that you've seen on the market from Mercer specifically. You know, it follows in line with some of the Renaissance line, but this is the Gyuto style. That profile is amazing. And it's a VG10 core between 2 additional steels, so it is by far it's one of the finest knives that I used. It does have a price tag of $122.95, so that's $122.95 for this knife. Still cheaper than the Mac MTH80, and I think it's a better quality knife for what you get. It is a VG10 Gyuto. All right, so let's move that one out the way. And staying in line with the MX3, my second favorite, the 5-inch Petit. Okay. Okay. This knife, same profile, smaller handle, contour. Delrin style rounded spine on the knife as well. This is a phenomenal knife as a utility knife or even as a pairing just because of the profile. I absolutely adore this knife, and in my videos you may see that it makes several appearances. It makes several appearances in my use as well. The price tag on this is $73.95. If I didn't say, this is the 120 millimeter 5-inch Petit. They do offer a 6-inch, but I think the 5-inch is just a little bit more utility for me. Okay. Next, haven't opened it yet, but it is the Mercer Cuts. The 9-inch, and it's the Renaissance style. It's the 9-inch competition knife. Okay, so this is for those budding chefs who are considering doing any culinary competitions, but even for the home chef or home cook who wants to have a reference knife for completing some of the different style of cuts. Okay, so we've got the short bolster on it, and if you notice, it has the different sizes. It's got a ruler on it, inches on this side, and I believe on this side it is centimeters or the metric. So we have the different styles. This is a perfect reference. I believe in any of the culinary knife skill challenges or competitions, they allow you to have a ruler. This lets you have it all in one. Good addition for any knife bag, any enthusiast, and it's the 9-inch, so you get an additional inch in terms of usage, just in between the 8 and 10, but a very phenomenal knife. I love the Renaissance line. As you'll see, one of my favorite knives that I use later on this list, but comes from the Renaissance style. All right, and this is the Mercer cuts. Price tag on this is $66.95, and it is NSF certified. All right, the next knife comes from within my roll. This is a phenomenal roll here. We're gonna start with the 8-inch Renaissance Granton edge chef's knife. This is the X50 CR MOV15, that beautiful rounded spine, very similar to the MX3 line. A little bit heavier handle, not as detailed as the MX3 line, so you'll notice a little bit of variance in the handles there, but it's still the same style. And this one has the scallops of the Granton edge. For me, this right here at $49.99 is an absolute steal. It's a wonderful knife. For me, it's comparable to the Mac MTH80, which is $150. This is obviously a third of the price, and this is a perfect knife for all levels of cooking and skill set in the kitchen. So this is one of my favorite knives to use. I absolutely love this knife. And if you can sharpen it, or if you know how to sharpen it, then I think you're going to see that it will perform just as well as the Mac MTH80. Very good knife. The next knife out of the pack, and you may have already caught a glimpse of it before. This is a little bit of a unique style knife. Again, absolute favorite, adore this knife. It is larger. It's a 12-inch Cimiter or Scimitar, depending on how you say it, with a Granton edge. This is the Mercer 12-inch, and this is similar to knives that you'll see the infamous or the famous Salt Bae use in some of his videos. Very phenomenal slicer, great edge, has that curvature in it, very mirror edge finish on there, and perfect for slicing and cutting through meats. It is a sort of a specialty knife, and I think it comes in at $43.17, and these are all US Amazon based prices, but man, this right here, wonderful, phenomenal knife. Very different style handle. I think this comes from their tool set, but awesome, awesome, awesome knife. And if you're a barbecue enthusiast or somebody who is, into grilling or cooking in that matter, cooking meats or steaks and things of that matter, and wanting to serve it up with some flair, this is a phenomenal knife to use, specifically for those of you in competition barbecue style. This is a knife I'd recommend. All right, moving along. This is another specialty knife, and you might have to cue the Star Trek music. Right here. This is their 20-inch rocker. this is an X30 CR13. It comes with a sharpened edge on it, but this is the knife that you use for cutting through pizza. So if you are one of those pizza fanatics who have the ability to cook pizza at home, either through a fire oven, a wood fire oven, outdoors, or even using a stone, if you're somebody who is really enthusiastic about making pizzas, I absolutely recommend this knife. Super sharp, great tool to have. I use it for cutting different breads and things of that nature. It gives you that even cut. A little bit easier to use than the roller. This is the rocker, so it has that rocking action when you use it. Perfect handles, rubber style handles, but man, this is a cool, unique tool to have. It is an attention getter, especially if you're serving up some pizzas for your friends. I absolutely adore this knife. I think it is a fun knife to use, and it only comes in at $41.36. So if you're looking for a dependable pizza slicer or pizza cutter, I definitely recommend this one as an ideal pickup. All right, making some good progress. The next knife. Now, this right here is one of my absolute favorite knives to use in the kitchen. I've been using it a lot, and it is the 6-inch Deba. Now this is the Deba with the wood handle. It's a little bit lighter than the Deba with the Cimiter. My recommendation is get the Cimiter. It comes in at $36.05, so just under 40. I've been using this to debone chicken now. I've been using it to work with fish. I even use it to try some chopping, all kinds of things in the kitchen, just to see the utility of this. And for me, it works as a sort of a mini butcher knife or cleaver. That Chinese chef's knife, if I use that, this is very similar to that. Now, the challenge for most of you, if you're not familiar, it does have a single bevel, a kind of a single bevel. It's got a micro bevel, if you will, on the very edge, but you can grind that out or you can sharpen that out. But it makes it phenomenally sharp, perfect for cutting through cheeses, things of that nature. If you're making stuffed anything, or cheese plates. The only reason I recommend the Cimiter is because it's NSF certified, so depending on what you're working with, you don't have to worry about any kind of particles getting in between the edge or the blade and the handle itself. Otherwise, the wood handle is very good too. Very tacky when it gets wet, but the Cimiter is always tacky, and I really enjoy that myself. So you might pick up both, see which one you like the best, but this is definitely one of my favorite knives to use so far. All right, moving right along. This is a knife that you've seen in a couple videos as well. This is the 7-inch Fillet. Renaissance Series 7-inch Fillet comes in at $30.89. Very, very flexible. So you can see, got a perfect flex to it. This is a great knife for trimming or deboning, not necessarily deboning, but for trimming and removing fat and things of that nature, and to use for stuffing. I absolutely love this knife. It's like a mini carving knife. 7 inches versus the 10-inch, but it has a good flex in it. So if you wanted to use it to remove skin off of fish, or to work on chicken or beef or anything that needs to be trimmed, This is a phenomenal knife, and I think 7 inches is ideal. Very perfect knife. Again, comes in at $30.89. This one does not have the rounded spine, but it's a very thin spine with the mini or short bolster. That is the Renaissance 7-inch fillet or fillet knife. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, the next one on the list isn't necessarily a knife, but this up a little bit more. But it's the tool that you use to maintain your knives, and this is the ceramic honing rod. And may call it a sharpening rod or sharpening steel. This is a ceramic rod. Okay, it's it's $29.65. It's the 12-inch. I recommend nothing shorter than a 12-inch, just because most of the knives that you're going to encounter are going to be 12 inches or less, and it's recommended to use the length of the knife against the length of the rod. So it is ceramic. I've been using this for a while. It replaces my steel rod. It replaces the diamond rod for me. It's just the only rod I need. It stays in my bag. Pick up a couple, one for your bag, one for your house. This is definitely probably one of my best picks for the year. One that I recommend for every use when you're needing to hone your edge. Absolutely adore this. Wouldn't go anywhere without it. Again, it's the 12-inch ceramic rod. All right. Woo! We're getting there. Moving along. Oh, man. This one right here, I don't even know if I posted a video of it, but I've been using it for several months, and it is by far my favorite slicer. Now, I had the 10-inch carving knife. This is an 11-inch slicer. It's the round. The rounded edge with the Granton or scallops. Oh my goodness. Now, I think when you read on the description online, it says it's a full tang. It isn't, based on the size of the handle, if you were to consider full tang all the way through the handle. Anyways, this will give you some of the thinnest and most precise cuts ever. It's kind of in between a salmon knife or one of those salmon fillet knives and a slicer. Usually the slicers I work with a little bit bigger, maybe twice the width of the blade. But oh my goodness, I use this for cutting up ham, and it is a wonderful knife to use to get very shaved, razor thin slices if that's what you want, or just very clean cuts with one draw. Definitely for a barbecue fanatic, this is a definite pickup. If you're into carving meats or cooking large pieces of meat and you need thin slices, maybe around, St. Patrick's Day or something like that, if you're wanting to do maybe a pastrami or a corned beef, this is a excellent pickup. And its counterpart is the 6-inch Renaissance curved fork. I just love the way this fork feels. You don't have to buy them together. This alone, this is just, for a little bit more performance factor. But honestly, great set together. I love the way they look. Always in my bag. I'd recommend having one at home, one in your kit, or whatever it is that you choose. But if you're going to competition, this is a great buy. If you're going to be if you cook a lot of barbecue and you just want a phenomenal knife for sharp slices, this is what I recommend. Okay. Hope you guys are still with me. It is a long list, and we're almost through. The next thing on the list is actually the knife roll. It is a 7-pocket knife roll, but I believe it has 8 in it. As you've seen, it folds up very nicely. It comes with straps, Velcro, nameplate if you want. The straps you can remove. Different colors. The camo print is one that I have, and then I also have the black one over here, identical. Definitely recommend these. These are great pickups to have, especially if you like to travel and cook. I wouldn't go anywhere without one of these now. Before, I used to have to wrap them up and cardboard, and if I had any sheaths, I'd use them. With these, I just take the essentials and I'm on my way, and I love it. Holds obviously 12-inch. The 12-inch rod or 12-inch knives will fit perfectly. Some of the spaces might be a little close, so you might be able to get away with 5 or 6 knives. Although I believe there are 8 pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there are 8 pockets. I absolutely love these. You've seen them in my videos. I use them religiously, so I would recommend anybody who wants to pick up a knife roll to consider the Mercer line. They are fairly amazing. Easy in and out, sliding them in, and I think they come in at $23.89. And if I didn't say it on the slicer was $27.99, so just under $30 for a slicer. Very good set. I absolutely love this. Adore it. Okay. Next, this was my #1 knife last year. I don't know if it's still going to be my #1 this year. We'll find out in an upcoming video where I do my countdown. But this is the 8-inch Millennia chef's knife. This is my beater knife. This is the knife that I use for everything. First one I go to, especially if it's going to be a messy cut or something like that, and I don't want to mess up my MX3, I go for this knife. Very comfortable. It's a dream to use. It is an X30 CR13, so it's a little bit softer steel, but it's easy to maintain the edge and sharpening. So if you're new to cooking, new to culinary cutlery, I recommend this as a pickup. It comes in at $15.19, but you can find them on sale throughout the year. Different colors. I again like them. It's just a personal preference in terms of my color, but if you're in a restaurant scene, obviously you can use the different colors as color coding for the different uses. But I absolutely love this knife. Very comfortable. The grip's kind of wide, and you've got this raised kind of stippling or knurling on the sides of the bolster here, and Cimiter top and bottom with that poly center, and it just feels great. You can get this thing razor sharp and it works phenomenal. At $15 you might purchase a couple. I absolutely adore this knife. I use it all the time. It is one of my main go-to knives for almost everything. With all the knives that I have, it's hard to pick a favorite, but this one right here serves its purpose very well. And I'd recommend you guys picking up one of these if you have not yet. The 12-inch, I did a review on that, was the #1 bestseller for Amazon. This right here, equally as good as the 12-inch, a little bit more manageable in terms of the length. But if you don't have one, pick one up, even if you just keep it in the bag and never really use it, if it's your travel knife or whatever. This is such a great deal, such a great buy. You're not going to find really anything on the market that will be comparable to this at this price range. Even I think the Victorinox is like $40-something with a polymer handle or graphite style handle, and this one is just that much more comfortable. I don't think I've ever seen a knife, even though it comes with a polymer and a Cimiter handle, and people were like, "Oh, that's cheap." It's $15, and it's a great tool to use. Absolute perfect tool for your kitchen. All right, and the last one, again, we're going by price. So it's not ranked in order of utility, but the last knife is the 9-inch offset Millennia. Bread knife or sandwich knife, whichever you like to call it. Same as the other Millennia, much smaller handle, but that offset scallops or the what do you call it, serrations with the offset knife really give you a lot of clearance for cutting. This is a perfect knife for cutting through fruits, hard fruits like oranges, or cutting through breads, anything with a thick crust on it, cutting through delicate things like tomatoes. Perfect knife to have in your bag. If you don't want to deal with having to make sure you have a sharp knife, you grab this and it's always sharp. So this is a perfect accompaniment for you. It comes in at $12.79, which is an absolute steal. They have so many different bread knives on the market, but this is an absolute essential for me. I used to have the fancier bread knives, and I still do. I just don't use them as much as this because of the clearance. It's just that much more comfortable to use this knife. It has all the features that I absolutely love. Well, that has been my 12 days of Christmas. I think there were 13 knives in there, so 13, one extra hidden. These are absolutely my favorite knives, and I recommend anybody, well, not just knives, but knives and tools. I recommend anybody who gets one of these is going to be pleased, satisfied. Some of them might make great stocking stuffers. It all just depends on what you're going to be using them for or who you're buying them for. And I just can't say enough great things about these. If you're looking for the high-end knife, MX3 again is where I would go. If you're looking for a little bit more budget conscious, budget friendly, but you want something that performs very well, the Renaissance. If you're very tight on budget, or you're just looking for a couple knives, the Millennia. They offer, that's the thing about Mercer, they offer the tools, and the quality of the tools are you know, high quality, great gear, affordable prices, different price ranges. You have the MX3, the Renaissance, you have a Genesis, you have the Zoom line. So many different options out there. You're not going to see that with very many other knife manufacturers, okay? You're not going to see that entry-level style. You're not going to see the comparable Japanese-style Kyoto all coming from one line. And I mean, these are the knives that they're using in culinary schools, culinary institutes. So if you're looking at wanting to use what is used in those settings, these are the brands that they trust in and that they use and recommend. So, I mean, if you give me a knife and it works perfectly as I expect, and the features and functions, or even the ergonomics of the knife kind of blow the other knives out of the water, why would I pick anything else? Why would I go with a name brand or a certain name brand that costs a little bit more when I can get the same performance, same function at a fraction of the price? Doesn't make sense to me. You know, I'm a knife collector as well, so I understand the collection component, but if I'm trying to build an arsenal for my kitchen that I'm going to be using, that aren't going to be standing on the wall, or wall trophies as some might call them, this is the lines that I'm going to go with, and this is the line that I believe in. And I hope that, you know, you guys are able to see that within all my videos. I hope you guys have you know, seen sort of the trust that I have in this company, and from the videos of me using them, you can see their performance and truly understand, you know, why I go for a line like this. It's not about being flashy. It's not about, you know, trying to always save money. It's about using things that are dependable. It's about using things that I trust. And, you know, until I run into some issues, I really find that these are a very fabulous set to own. Very fabulous knives for all skill levels in this line. All right, well, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me for another year. This has been an absolute wonderful year for me. I have had some of the best time reviewing all kinds of knives, and then near the last quarter of the year, as you saw, I've been using a lot more Mercer knives, and it's a great company to deal with and work with. I do have some additional knives from other companies that I have reviewed, and I'm going to work on those 4-month reviews for those as well, so expect that. I hope you guys have enjoyed my 3-Minute Thursdays. The views on it aren't that great so far, so I don't know if they've taken off or if they're that interesting to you, but it's just a pilot. I'm trying to see if there's actually any interest in it. This video, I don't know how long we are so far. I apologize for the length, but there's a lot of knives to cover, and I mean, I want this to be your quintessential Christmas shopping list if you're looking, or if you still need to pick up some last-minute gifts. Again, I really thank you guys. I do this for you. I really enjoy having the opportunity to do reviews like this for all my viewers, all you, if I can call you fans, everyone who's subscribed. And I do appreciate all the comments and all the remarks and everything that anyone who interacts with this channel will do. Here's looking at a wonderful holiday for you guys. If you get any of these as wonderful pickups, let me know what you think, how you use them. I think you're gonna be extremely pleased with any of these, and if you don't know what to get, hopefully this gives you some ideas. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Happy holidays, and again, we'll see you in the next one.